The NFL quarterback carousel continues. Free agency starts to heat up. The combine's over. Whose stock has risen? And when projecting Zach Wilson's career arc, we may not have to look too far for a comparison. Those are the big topics of today's video. If you like what I'm doing, smash that like button. If you're new here, hit subscribe. Let's jump right into it. Breaking news this afternoon. The Washington Commanders have traded for quarterback Carson Wentz from the Indianapolis Colts. Right now, we just have it as multiple picks that has not broken yet. But Washington has been desperate for a quarterback. They were putting offers out to just about every team who would listen. They even put an offer in for Patrick Mahomes. I want to see what that offer was. Like 10 first-round picks? I mean, come on. Big upgrade. Big upgrade for the Commanders. Where does this leave the Colts, who have no first-round pick? And they can't trade for Deshaun Watson. The Texans won't trade him in the division. So I'm curious as what the Colts do now. Are they going to trade for Jimmy G? That's the next rumor. And Jimmy G to me feels like a less athletic Carson Wentz. So it leaves the Colts with a quarterback hole, which means some more quarterback musical chairs probably coming soon. Exciting stuff. Now, a couple players set to hit the open market. Both, I think, would be worth the Jets sending out an offer to. Allen Robinson. Field Yates just tweeted that the Bears are going to let Allen Robinson walk. They're really not going to make him an offer to come back. It just seemed like he was schemed out of the offense last year. Relationship has soured. And he and the Bears are ready for a fresh start. He had a really down year last year. Worst year of his career. His targets were cut in half from the year before that. However, he does have 3 seasons under his belt of 1,100 yards or more. He's been an all-pro. Still just 28 years old. He's a big body guy, good route runner, reliable hands, would immediately become our number 1 receiver. If we brought him in, it would remind me a little bit of when we traded for Brandon Marshall. I think he would be an immediate injection into our offense. And we need a proven pro at receiver. So with him or Amari Cooper, those would be my top 2 guys. And we might have to overpay. It's not ideal, but we might have to overpay at receiver. Because what we don't want to do is go into the draft knowing we have to go receiver at 10. Because then if a guy that we like isn't there, now we're overdrafting. I'd rather overpay than overdraft. Because at least when you're overpaying in free agency, you're overpaying for a proven commodity. Whereas when you reach in the draft based on need, that's how you get busts. So maybe we bite the bullet and we overpay to bring in an Allen Robinson and Amari Cooper. Another player just recently released, Bobby Wagner, Seattle Seahawks linebacker. Probably the best linebacker of the last decade in football. Elite player. Now I know we're trying to get younger, not older. 31 years old. I had assumed he would be older. I thought he'd be like 33. Still really good. Pro Football Focus score in the 70s last year. Great tackler. Elite tackler. Probably the best tackler in the NFL the past 8-10 years. And that is something our defense was awful at last year. I talked about Kyle Van Noy yesterday and how he could be a good culture signing. Same thing here with Bobby Wagner. Maybe on a 1-year deal. I think it's worth an offer. Does he want to come to the Jets? I don't know. Let's find out. Money talks. We have a really young team and we have a lot of draft picks. So I think we're okay bringing in some guys in their 30s on 1-year deals who can really improve our team and improve our culture. Now, let's get into another linebacker who's already under contract. This to me has to be the first move the Jets make in free agency. We have to call up CJ Mosley's agent and we have to get him to restructure this contract. Before we can do anything, let's add to this cap number. And I'm seeing all these other teams are doing it. Restructuring, opening up cap space. Jets haven't done it yet. I want to have CJ Mosley take $10 million of that $16 million base salary and put it in a signing bonus. Let's get $10 more million of cap space from CJ. So let's make that move. NFL Combine officially over. There are 3 players whose stock has really risen that I think could be potential targets for the New York Jets. Trayvon Walker has now skyrocketed himself to, in most people's books, now edge rusher number 3. And I've seen some mocks now where he's going above Kayvon, and I saw one mock where he went number 1 overall. And Hutchinson fell to like 6. Man, if Hutchinson falls at 4, the Jets better put on their track shoes and sprint to the podium. But Trayvon Walker, really nice measurables. 6'5", 272, 4.5 in the 40. That is moving for 272 pounds. That's close to the Jadeveon Clowney territory in the combine department. Pro comp, Julius Peppers, maybe some people say. Okay, so Trayvon Walker could be in play at 4. I'd like him better at 10. Could be in play at 4. Another freak show. Jordan Davis, defensive tackle, 6'6", 341. Ran sub 4.8. A 10-foot broad jump at 340. Insane. Now, I'm not taking him at 4 or at 10. However, if the Jets trade down, say to Pittsburgh at 20, he's definitely in play there. I don't know if he'll be there, but if the Jets trade down to the teens or to 20 and Jordan Davis is on the board, you have to consider it. Not a huge position of need, but again, Quinnen Williams, 5th-year option. If an extension becomes too pricey or not worth it, you can trade Quinnen, and then you have Jordan Davis as your full-time starter. Something to consider. Christian Watson, wide receiver. Insane measurables. 6'4", 205, ran sub 4.3. Crazy. The RAS score, raw athletic score, off the charts, like almost as high as you could test. Big hands, everything you can measure on this dude, tested freakly. Now, I don't think he's going to be there by our 3rd round pick now. And I'm probably not taking him at 35 or 38. So this might be a guy who's just falls in between our picks. But if he makes it to the 3rd round, I definitely would consider it. Christian Watson. Now, I don't want that to be our only plan. Like, we don't sign anybody. We just bring back Berrios, and then we think, oh, a 3rd round pick is going to be fine on the outside with Corey Davis. I don't want to do that. But if we bring in a receiver like Allen Robinson on a 1-year deal, and then we want to draft Christian Watson in the 3rd round, and then next year we can see if Watson is ready to assume that starting role, I like that. I like that move a lot. Because Denzel Mims, we still is a wild card. He's not a guarantee to even make the roster, unfortunately. Swinging it back to free agency, because this is just coming across my computer screen right now. J.C. Jackson unlikely to be re-signed by the Patriots. They are reportedly far apart in contract talks. J.C. Jackson wants to be the highest paid corner in the league. Should the Jets do it? I'm leaning towards no, but I think we have to consider it. And the reason why is because he has such a unique ability to take the football away. And that is so valuable. That is just so valuable. 9 and 8 interceptions in the last 2 years, respectively. 17 interceptions over the past 2 seasons. That's crazy. That's more than the Jets have had as a team in that span. So if you could take the ball away 7, 8, 9 times a year, you have to consider it. I'd probably lean towards no, though. Just for the Jets, I think it could be a right move for another team to go ahead and give him $20 million a year for a team that's maybe one piece away. But I think with as many holes as we have, we might want to spread that money around and fill as many holes on the roster as possible. Okay, that just came across my screen. Wanted to bring it up real quick. Swinging it back to quarterbacks, the quarterback on our roster, Zach Wilson. I like Zach Wilson. And I think that Zach Wilson's career arc could look similar to that of Josh Allen. They're different players. I'm not saying Zach Wilson will become Josh Allen. If we remember Josh Allen's rookie year, it was pretty rough. Completion percentage in the low 50s. Very inconsistent with his accuracy. Took a lot of sacks. But just like Zach Wilson this year, had like borderline replacement level talent around him. For the Jets this year, it was mainly due to injuries and COVID. For the Bills, it was just poor planning. And then we see Josh Allen's next season, they draft a tight end, they improve the offensive line, and he takes a slight bump up. And then Josh Allen's third season, they make the big Stephon Diggs move, and he takes off. I'm asking the Jets to go ahead and skip that second step. Go ahead and have your Stephon Diggs off season this year. So I'm not saying Allen Robinson or Amari Cooper or DK Metcalf or Stephon Diggs, but bringing in a legitimate number one wide receiver is going to change Zach Wilson's life. We have to do this. We have to do this. And we also have to bring in a new right guard, a running back too, Berrios for depth. That's what we got to do. That's the plan. The Bills showed us how to surround a young quarterback with talent. But let's go ahead and do it even faster than they did. Also, our offensive coordinator. Let's scheme up some more deep shots and some more quarterback runs. I feel like Zach Wilson, two of his best attributes are his mutant arm, ridiculous arm talent, and he's a really good athlete. Like, if you put on the BYU film, there's lots of quarterback runs, and I didn't see that this year. Maybe it was because of the injury and he was a little hesitant. We saw it a little bit at the end of the year when he popped with that big run against Jacksonville. And then he had the other long, there was another game where he had like a super long run. So I'd like to see more read options. I'd like to see Zach just tuck it and run when nobody's open. And let's call up some more deep shots. And we also need to have the personnel to do that. So let's get a number one wide receiver. All right, I'm going to close with this. I think I'm going to do my next mock draft. Things have switched around for the top 10 for me. But I saw maybe my least favorite mock draft ever this offseason. This was per Pro Football Focus. And they do some good work over there, but man, they have us coming away with Andrew Booth, corner, at 4, and Jamison Williams, wide receiver, at 10. That's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I like Andrew Booth. I've seen him mocked in the early second round. I like him a lot. If we trade back at 20, I'd consider it, but at 4, that's crazy. Because even if we're going to go corner at 4, he's like my 4th favorite corner. I like Sauce and McDuffie better than him, and he's kind of a toss-up with like Stingley and McCreary. Jamison Williams, I like Jamison Williams. The ACL is just a bummer. It was the last game of the year. ACL injuries aren't what they used to be. But the receiver we bring in, we need to be able to build immediate chemistry with Zach Wilson in training camp and preseason. And I don't know when Jamison's going to be ready to play. So that means now we're starting the season day one with Denzel Mims on the outside with Corey Davis. We can't do it. Can't do that. So maybe for another team, Jamison Williams might be a good first round pick, but not for us. I hate those 2 picks. All right. That's it for me for this video. Again, smash the like button, hit that red bell to subscribe. I got a couple more videos coming out shortly, including my Zach or Pack round 2 backed by popular demand. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day and go New York Jets.